Sally's Beauty, the other day because I dyed my hair a month ago. I bleached it a month ago, and I did a terrible job, I'll be honest. I think I mentioned it like right after I did it, but anyway, there's not much to say about it. It was definitely like a COVID hair project. And yeah, it didn't look great. So then I toned it right after I did it, but it had been a month, and I know you're not supposed to bleach your hair. You know, you're supposed to give your hair time to like breathe after you bleach it. And so I toned it again. So I had to go to Sally's. Sally, I don't know what it's called. Oh, this coffee is so good. It's really hitting the spot. And then I saw these nails, and they're so extra, but I think they're so much fun. I love this purple, and I also just love the like fun color combination. So we are gonna put on fingernails. Yeah, I haven't really thought about how I'm gonna do this because I want the purple ones on there, definitely. I think those are gonna go on my pinkies. But I realize like I don't necessarily want them to be like, oh, hi Apple Watch. I don't want them to be necessarily like symmetrical. I don't know, I'm pretty particular about like symmetry and stuff like that. So anyway, I'm gonna scooch the mic a little bit forward. You might see it's sitting on some books, and these are the books that it's sitting on. Anyway, so let's just do it. These are kind of long. Okay, so I think the 8s, I mean, they're a little bit big for my pinky, but I think that that's gonna work because I just love this purple color, and I don't think that it'll fit on any of my other nails. Oh, I realize you can't really see this. Me does, yeah, it's not gonna fit on any of my other, so it looks like purple pinkies. Purple pinkies. It is. And then I see the zeros, which I think will go on my thumb, and there's one orange and one pink. So we're gonna have mismatched pinkies, but I mean, what is this? Your thumb? Mismatched thumbs, but that's okay. I'm gonna scooch forward a little bit. Okay, now I'm closer, so not having to do contortions. Okay. Oh, my nails are beat. Yikes. Oh, I've had so many hangnails recently. I think it's because I'm anxious. I mean, that's not why. I like pick at my hangnails when they're anxious. When I'm anxious. Oh my god, good morning. Welcome to the world. Okay. So we've got our zeros, so we're not gonna need the ones. I love doing my nails. Okay, so also probably we'll need the 2s, I don't know. Yeah, they're just too big for any of my nails. Okay, so 1s and 2s are out. I was gonna do a little video with the windows open because it's raining today, and it was just like so nice to hear the rain sounds and the outside sounds. So I think anything smaller than 8 we're also not gonna use. So I'm gonna get rid of those now, just so you know what I'm doing. Anyway, it was so nice to hear like the outside sounds, and just the rain sounds. But then I open my window, I start trying to film this, and the moment that I hit the record button, a leaf blower starts, and I'm like, it's raining. What kind of leaves could you be blowing right now? But anyway, they've got a job to do. No shame in the game. But I was pretty bummed because it's so nice to hear like the outside sounds. Okay, bummer. Oh, maybe. I don't know. I think that fits. I feel like this is. So let's see. This is a 6, so that's bigger than a 7, right? I do want some of these blue and pink ones on my nails because I think they're pretty, but they're small, as you can probably tell. Yeah, they're so small. switch hands and fingers, and so doing this is always kind of a shot in the dark, I would say, just to see, what will work, what won't work. Okay, let's try maybe a 5, I guess. Oh, these are 8s. The 8s can go away. For me, this is like always figuring out what sizes to put on my nails is like doing a puzzle or something. I think also the 7s will be too small for my big fingernails. So, those go away. Anyway, let's see. How about, so I want the opposite color to be on the opposite hand. Damn, though, I wish this could be on my first finger. Could it be? Let's see. I don't ever remember if you're supposed to do bigger or smaller. Like, there's some, when you do like, what is it called? The kind of, the kind of acrylic where you like paint it on. What is it called? Like, they're like gel nails, but not dip. Anyway, when you do that, you're supposed to do bigger than your nail, but I think when you do press-ons, you're supposed to do smaller than your nail. Let's see, are there instructions? I also didn't look, I just went in, so this is the container it came in. Dashing Diva Magic Press Long, so these are also going to be long AF, and I don't know, no glue needed. Cool, wow, great. Let's see, we could open this little thing. That might have been the place to start. If that's not too loud. Oh, here we go. There's instructions. Thumbs last. Great. Nail adhesive is pressure sensitive. Select a smaller size. Okay, so it does say if you can't find the right size, select a smaller size. You can nail them and then avoid water during the first hour of application. I can do that. Oh, then it tells you make sure the tab aligns with your cuticle. That's funny. Okay. Great. So then I'm gonna do these 6s on the first finger, even though they're a little bit small. And then let's see, maybe 5s for my middle finger. See, 5s are like the ones that would actually fit on my first finger. Maybe 5s can go on my ring finger. So we'll do opposite. Oh, I want to do opposite, so I want to have all different colors. Right. Okay, yeah, sure. So 5's gonna fit on my ring finger, that'll work. And then on my middle finger, maybe 3s or 4s. I don't know, let's try 4s. We'll see. Sure. 4s it is. I wonder if you can hear the birds. They're really singing. Let's just take a look at 3s, like, for shits and giggles. Oh yeah, I think 3s will be a lot better. Okay, so let's do 3s and then maybe 4s on my ring finger. Yeah, that's absolutely right. And then we'll switch these ones. So this is a 5. No 5s. Do 3s in the middle, 4s on the edge. Okay, cool. We're all set up. I'm gonna push back my cuticles real quick with this like crummy wooden cuticle pusher, but my cuticles are kind of ragged right now, so I, can really be bothered. Ew. Oh my god. Anyway, oh my gosh, my nails are busted. So I just got home from a road trip on Monday. I guess it's Friday, so it's been a little bit, but I've been finding it really hard to adjust made it, I guess, hard to adjust, but it being so long. But I went by myself, and I drove the Pacific coast. So I stayed with friends in San Francisco. I stayed with friends in LA. I spent some time in California. California was where I spent the majority of my time, just because it was so beautiful. Sorry, I'm pushing my cuticles and you can't see that. So it just looks like I'm sitting here, just chatting, which, also could be what I'm doing, but anyway. Okay, I'm kind of over pushing my cuticles, so I'm just not going to do that. So this is fast and loose nail application with Kaya. Excuse me. And then I'm going to use this little prep pad, which I think is just alcohol, to get the oils off of my nails. Here we go. Oh yeah, it smells like just alcohol, so I'm going to wipe them all off. So, yeah, it was quite an experience. The first 2 weeks of the road trip were just blissful. They were so wonderful. It was, I haven't traveled since March or February of 2020. And so, it was, and I'm a person who, quite often is traveling and likes to travel a lot. And, alright, let's get started with the nails. Here's the pinky, the purple pinky, if you will. Oh no. Chaotic. So anyway, it was pretty exceptional to be back out in the world. I got vaccinated, I guess in mid-March, I want to say. Maybe a little bit later, maybe in April. No, I think in March. And so, let's see, here we go. So, I, felt okay going on this trip. And most of my friends, by the time they went, had also gotten all their shots. And so, I felt pretty safe. And I was able to stay with my friends and, spend time with them in a way that I haven't been able to in a really long time. And so, yeah, I loved the Bay Area. I really truly fell in love with California. I really think that's the biggest takeaway. Okay, I think I pressed that for long enough. Oh my god, look at it. It's so extra. I love it. Yeah, I think my biggest takeaway was that I just love California. I've been to California before, and okay, let's do the other pinky. And I liked it, when I went to visit friends or whatnot. Before, I was like, oh, this is cool. But I really thought driving through California, it was so uniquely beautiful and diverse, and in its landscape, you know what I mean? And sorry, my allergies are wilding out. But oh, there's that leaf blower. I wonder if you can hear it. Anyway, it was just a really unique experience, and also to do it by myself. I mean, it was really difficult, and I had my car broke down while I was in California in the desert, and that was super hard. Being alone, I didn't really think being alone would be hard before that. I live alone. I spend a decent amount of time by myself, especially over the past year. So I didn't think that traveling alone would be so hard, and it was. But it was also a really, magically independent thing too. So, I went to the Redwoods, which I had never been to before, and they were really beautiful. I went hiking in the Redwoods, but I was a little bit freaked out because there were all these signs that said, "Don't hike alone." because they're mountain lions. And then I got so freaked that a mountain lion would attack me, which I think when you hike alone, I mean, if you've ever done it, I think it's a really important thing to do. I do it pretty frequently, but I think you should do it if you're even considering it, because it's such a like centering time. And I also think just traveling alone, being alone a lot, you get the experience of like making your own decisions without, you know, other people's input. Like you can decide what you want to do, or if you want to turn around, when you want to turn around, you know, all that good stuff. Oh my god, look at these, they're so extra. Anyway, but I think hiking alone is one of those things for me where it's always kind of a test, like a battle with my mind, because, you know, I think about it and I'm like, you know, overall I'm probably pretty safe. You know, I bring all my emergency stuff, and, you know, I take all the precautions to be safe. But sometimes, you know, I really felt like when I was hiking in the redwoods, it was just kind of an exercise in like listening to my body, because it was by no means a hike that was too hard for me to do alone, or like unsafe for me to be going out on alone, other than, you know, the mountain lion thing. But it was a pretty heavily trafficked trail, and so that probably wasn't really an issue. But, you know, I hiked for like an hour, a little bit longer, and I was getting so anxious that I was, you know, just not having a good time anymore. And so I realized I needed to listen to what my body was telling me, and I turned around. And I felt kind of bad about that at the end, because I realized that I was super close to the end of the trail when I turned around. So I wish that I had maybe just slowed down a little bit and realized that I was so close while I was hiking. But, you know, anxiety works in mysterious ways. Well, not in mysterious ways, because for me, it makes it so I don't slow down. I don't use, you know, my rational brain. So anyway, that was a real deep dive on hiking alone, but oh yes. But I recommend it. That's what I did on my birthday. My birthday was about a month ago ish, and I took myself on a birthday hike because right now I'm unemployed, and I knew that all my friends and family were like working on my birthday, and I didn't want to be like alone and at home and just like hanging out. And so I was like, I'm gonna go for a hike. It was really exceptional. Anyway, I stayed at this beautiful state park a little bit south of the redwoods called Patrick's Point State Park, and it was so beautiful. The campsites were nothing to write home about, but the bluffs were amazing. So you kind of walked out from the campsite and you got to these beautiful bluffs. I was overlooking the ocean, and I sat out there for hours one afternoon and just like drew and hung out. And then a squirrel came, and I'm like surprisingly afraid of squirrels. Like, I wish I weren't, because it sounds super dumb, but I'm really afraid of squirrels. All because a squirrel jumped on my friend's hand one time. Like, it was scary. Anyway, and then we thought she had rabies. Anyway, so I was sitting on this rock, just minding my business, and it was kind of this precarious rock. It was perched out over the ocean. I mean, it wasn't like unsafe, but it was definitely like I couldn't get off the rock any other way than the way that I got onto the rock, which was over this little path. It was a pretty narrow path, and I was sitting at the end of the rock, you know, watching the waves and whatnot. And I'm sitting there, and I kind of decide it's time to head back and go have dinner. And I turn around, and there's this squirrel just sitting in the path. I think maybe I'd been eating a snack. I don't actually walking towards it. And I was like, are you kidding me? And it's one of those things in the moment, like I can recognize how irrational this fear is, right? Like, I could take that squirrel in a fight. Simply by virtue of just being like a human being. But in the moment, I was so freaked out. And, yeah. So, I was like yelling at the squirrel. I wasn't yelling at the squirrel, but I was speaking to the squirrel. Saying things like, please get out of my way. And then this woman saw me doing that. And I was very embarrassed, I'll be honest. But then the squirrel kind of climbed up the cliff, but it was like then above me. And I was like, bruh, you could jump on me and it would all be over. But I made it. And the woman was like, squirrels are scary or something. Like, I don't remember what she said. She said something. And I was like, and I ran away and hid because I was so embarrassed. But yeah. And then after that, I went to Eureka, California. Eureka. No, Arcata. I went to both. I drove through Eureka. But I stopped in Arcata, California, and I think that there's a big school in Arcata. And I can't remember what school that is. But, maybe, is it College of the Ramblets? No. I don't know. There's a big university there, though. So there was like a very big college town. And there was this delicious pie place that my friend had recommended to me. And he said, oh, it's great. There's pie and beer, and that's what they sell. And so they sold savory pies and sweet pies. Oh my god, look at these. Look at them. Oh my god. Okay. And so but I went there at like 12. And turns out that they were actually kind of like closed. They were only doing takeout, which is okay. That was my experience with a lot of places that I went to eat. They were only doing takeout. But I was really hoping to have a drink, but as I said, it was noon. But then outside they had, the bar was still kind of operating, but I didn't really want, like, obviously I didn't want a drink, but I wanted to kind of have the experience. But apparently, oh my god, I feel like the kid in that TikTok that's like, or not TikTok, maybe it's a Vine. It's a video who's like, does he say apparently? Or he says some word, it's that little kid at the fair. He's like, apparently the roller coaster went really fast or whatever. He's like 5. Anyway, so I got a kombucha. They had kombucha on tap, and so I got a kombucha and had some pie, and the pie was pretty good. And then I also got a pot pie to take with me. And so when I went camping, ooh, that was a really loud screech. I hope that you couldn't hear that. So I went camping that night, and obviously I was camping that night. I was camping almost every night I was driving. But I took the pot pie with me, and then I heated up on my little stove, and it was so delicious. It was absolutely divine. So, yeah. But alright, we've come to the thumbs. We're all done up. Oh my god, these are so much. I don't know. I really feel like they match my vibe, but that's okay. They're fun. I thought they were just so fun when I saw them. And actually, I saw them because I had to go to Sally's Beauty twice because I went the first time and I was like, hi, I would like to tone my hair. And she was like, okay, cool, this is what I think you should use. And I was like, okay, cool, thank you. And then I asked her, I said, I have a lot of hair. It doesn't look like I have a lot of hair because they're all very fine strands, but I have a lot of fine strands, like just so much. Like every time I've gone to get my hair cut, the hair cutter is usually like, wow, you had a lot of hair, and I didn't really realize that. And I'm like, yes, apologies. And so anyway, I said I have a lot of hair. Do you think this is gonna be enough? And she was like, oh yeah, it definitely should be enough. Like, blah, 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 blah. And I knew in the back of my head, I was like, this is not gonna be enough. I have a lot of hair. But I took her word for it. And I get home, of course, and I'm only able to do half of my hair. So, like, the top half is toned, and the bottom half is still yellow. And so then I had to go back to Sally's Beauty, whatever, and get another tube. And so the first time I was at Sally's Beauty, I saw these, and I was like, those are so fun. But then I was like, they're so long, like, I just will never use them. But then, you know, I went back and I was like, actually, every time I put on fake nails, every time, I get so much more, like, I'm talking with my hands. Like, I already talk with my hands quite a bit. I find it very difficult to record videos without talking with my hands. I talk with my hands a lot though, but put fake nails on and I am like, you already can see it, I'm like ready to talk with my hands. It's just that nails make your hands just look so much more like elegant. I don't know, maybe you don't agree, but I feel like when I put nails on, just it elevates everything no matter what. These ones maybe not, because they're like a little trashy, but you know what, I'm living my truth, I'm living my life. I also love putting on long fake nails, and I don't do it very often. I usually do short ones. I remember the first time that I did fake nails, I would just go around tapping on everything, and I think it was before I knew about ASMR. I was probably like 12 or 13. And I just loved tapping on everything. Like, it was so satisfying to me. And now I'm like, makes sense. But I don't do long fake nails very often. I usually will do short ones, because then you still get the tapping, but you also like can live your life, you know. I also am a person who doesn't have very strong nails. Excuse me. I don't have very strong nails, and so like even when my nails grow out, first of all, they'll never get this long. Second of all, like, I can't really tap on things because they're not, you know, they're a little brittle, I guess. They're just not very strong. And so I love having strong nails. But all right, so I realize that my camera's quite close to the table, so it's a little bit hard to show you what they look like in all, but I will try my best. So this is what they look like. Oh, they're so fun, honestly. I'm kind of obsessed. So yeah, there we go. That's the story. I hope that you enjoyed this video. It was a little bit different, a little more chatty, a little more chill, but you know, I can't do book hauls every day. I wish I could though. Oh my god. Anyway, if you've made it this far, let me know. I appreciate you.